Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and as you guys know, we are getting closer to the presidential election to find out exactly who is going to win and who is not actually going to win, okay? And the idea is, guys, that Tommy, why do you even care about this topic? Well, as you guys know, when a new president is going to be announced, usually the stock market becomes very volatile. And usually people just like you, normal, average people that just want to make money in the stock market, in reality, they start to get very misled by either the media that only want clicks, politicians that only want power, while you and I only want the truth to know exactly, well, what is going to happen with my investments. Do I go ahead and sell everything? Do I hold everything? The idea is you can't trust any of those people for the right advice, and that's why I'm making this video right here. And it's not based on my opinion, because basically in some way that could be biased, but in reality is based on history and what usually happens with the stock market when we do have a new presidential election actually taking place here, okay? So this video is not about, hey, this person or that person, vote here, vote there. The answer is no, okay? You should vote yes, but it's not about that. It's about money and what to do when it comes to your investments. That is all I care about when it comes to this video right here. And if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day on YouTube, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. On top of that, also destroying the like button. Now, let's get started, guys, okay? Now, the first thing is this, guys. Although we can't predict the markets, or for example, history itself, or who's going to win, what we can predict is basically the big moments that are going to happen leading up to that event right there. So, for example, in this video, I'm going to break down 3 major things that are going to happen while elections are actually going on that you actually want to know to make sure your investments are actually safe. So in this case, okay, the first thing that usually happens is called uncertainty. Meaning, for example, we don't know what's going to happen, who's going to win, who's going to lose, new president, new policies, new this, new that, new phone, who's this. But the point is, all seriousness here, the point is when we have a presidential election, we don't know what's going to happen, and that creates uncertainty, which then goes ahead and creates something called volatility. Now, volatility is basically when your investments go from basically up to down to up to down to up to down very quickly because it's very volatile. Now, volatility, I want to explain this very quickly here. Volatility does not equal risk, okay? If a company is a good company, right, over time it will grow in value. It does not matter what it does in the short term. In the short term, a company like Apple might go up, might go down, might go up, down. But if it is a good company over time, what you will see is basically this, okay? You know, it just goes up and it keeps going up and it keeps going up as long as the company is a good company. So do me a favor, okay? Do not take volatility as an indication that you have to go out there and sell your investments or, for example, rebalance your entire portfolio, because in reality, in the short term, when we have uncertainty, that is going to happen a lot. But just remember, okay, like Warren Buffett says, Peter Lynch says, Charlie Munger says, volatility does not equal risk, okay? So just keep that in mind. So whenever me personally, I see my investments going up and down, as long as I know what I'm investing into and the true value of that investment, I'm not going to sell, because basically I know that over time it's just going to go up. But in the short term, we are going to have hiccups actually taking place. So just go ahead, reanalyze the company, and just hold on if it makes sense financially, but not based on, hey, volatility is going to make me actually sell my investments, okay? That is not a good idea. Now, the second thing is basically you don't want to make big bets and also big predictions based on who actually wins the entire presidential election. Now, here's why. Back in 2016, before Donald actually won the entire thing, which is actually a big surprise, the idea is that everyone thought that if he actually won, we would have an instant recession and the stock market would actually plummet. And in reality, if you guys remember, and if you don't, just go back and look at it, okay? That did not happen. The stock market actually recovered very quickly, and it actually went up that year. So my point is this, okay? It is not a good game to play when you're actually trying to predict the market based on who actually wins, because in reality, you don't know what's going to happen. The media does not know what's going to happen, and no one out there knows what's going to happen unless you have, for example, a silver ball telling you, hey, here's exactly what's going to happen with the stock market if this person wins or that person wins. The idea is that you don't know. The stock market, in a way, is unpredictable, especially during uncertain times. But we do know, for example, that over time, the stock market does go up. And by the way, it makes no sense to spend your time trying to predict who is going to win or what is going to happen, because basically, again, no one can predict the stock market. That is not the game you want to play. What you want to play is basically the game where you buy good companies or good indexes and you basically hold on for a very long time as long as those companies are actually good. That is the entire game when it comes to stock market. It's not about the short term, it's all about the long term. And on top of that, guys, because I know someone's going to say basically, Tommy, it's not good to make predictions, but really, usually, there's things out there that tell you exactly who's going to win and why they're going to win. So for example, a prediction people usually make is basically, if a president avoids a recession 2 years before re-elections and also has the stock market going up 3 months before re-elections, in reality, he tends to win, okay? And that's basically a statistic. Now, a statistic usually means that, hey, although the odds are in your favor, they do not mean they're always going to be in your favor, even when your odds are actually in your favor. For example, I have a 70% chance I'm going to make this basketball shot, but easily I could also miss and basically be on the other 30% chance, okay? So the idea is that although you will see predictions out there based on some stats or whatever it is out there, it does not mean it's going to be accurate, okay? So just keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to say about predictions is basically this right here, okay, guys? I found this great article on Forbes, and here's what it says, okay? It says that basically, since 1933, the highest returns in the whole stock market has been, for example, when you have a Democratic Senate, Republican House, and also a Democratic President, and at least around a 13.6 return on average in the stock market. But when you have a mix of a Republican Senate, Democratic House, and also a Republican President, the average is only around 10.83%. And by the way, if Biden actually wins, we would have a completely different scenario since lastly in 1886. So it'll be completely different, and we'll see exactly what actually happens, okay? But the answer is, guys, that what this is here is not rules to what's actually going to happen in the stock market. But what it is basically just an observation. It does not mean that any of this stuff is actually going to happen. It does not mean that basically if this guy wins, I'm going to put more money in, because basically on average, the stock market is going to shoot up. In reality, it's not based on this. It's all based on what the economy is going to do. And to actually determine that, it requires a little bit of luck. And that's why, guys, in the end, and lastly here, okay, what we do know is this, okay? Whenever we do have a presidential election, we have a lot of volatility. People saying, for example, this person's going to win or that person's going to win. And in reality, we have a lot of predictions based on statistics that don't really give you anything but just observations. So overall, what am I going to do with my money when it comes to the entire presidential election? The answer is, I'm not really going to change anything whatsoever. If the stock market crashes, well, in reality, I'm going to go ahead and invest a lot more money into my investing, because basically I'm going to be buying at a discount. However, I am not going to go ahead and sell my investments or make predictions either, because in reality, you can't predict what's actually going to happen in the stock market. And that's what Warren Buffett says, and that's what people that actually know about investing actually say all the time. So what I want to say is this, guys, okay? When it comes to headlines, they're supposed to get your attention, okay? So whenever you're on the news or on Yahoo Finance or on YouTube, all that clickbait, all that headline-driven ideas, whatever it is, they're all going to get your attention, and they want you to read. They want to make you scared, and that way you keep coming back and reading. They get clicks, they get money, they get paid, while all you're doing is just sitting at home and actually worrying. So it makes no sense to start worrying about something you can't control. And for example, like Warren Buffett says, okay, what you want to worry in life is basically things that are knowable and things that are actually important. And although, for example, the election is important, okay, it's actually not knowable. So it makes no sense in reality to actually worry about it in any way. And although we don't know who's going to win in the short term, we do know that overall the stock market tends to keep going up and up and up in the long term. And as long as you're optimistic about America business and everything that's going on today in the economy, well, things are going to continue to go up and go up and go up. So the idea is that don't stop investing. I still invest. If the stock market crashes, invest a lot more money at a discount. And that is all I'm actually going to be doing, guys, okay? And by the way, one last thing here, okay? Warren Buffett says, for example, the job of a president is basically to take care of three things, okay? Make sure the country is safe. Make sure the economy goes up, but that includes some luck there. And on top of that, make sure the economy goes up, that the wealth spreads across its citizens and makes other people actually richer also. And the president does all three of those things, usually it means we're actually doing a pretty good job. But again, this is not a political video or saying like, hey, this person should win or that person should win. It is just a video telling you, for example, don't listen to the media or the politicians out there. In reality, they all have their own benefits in mind. And what you should be worried about is basically, what are you actually going to do? By the way, go out there and vote also. It is very important. But on top of that, don't let the headlines and the media and the politicians tell you what to do when it comes to your investments and your money. And if I were running for president, for example, I would do everything in my power to make it seem that if I don't get reelected or, for example, elected, that basically the entire world, the economy, and America as we know it is going to be done, okay? It's the end of the world, okay? Because that's basically what they do. But in reality, it doesn't really matter as much as you might think, according to history and what we actually know. But guys, that's about it for this video. Comment down below and let me know, are you going to keep investing, not investing? If it crashes, you're going to invest also. Comment down below, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you like this video right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And before I go, if you want to text me or basically call me, so that's my Patreon link down below, or send me a DM on Instagram at TommyBryson. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see exactly what I actually invest into, watch this video right here. So see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.